You know how we're always told to eat more fruit if we want to live a long, healthy life? Well, what if that advice isn't just wrong? What if it's actually bad advice? Today, we're going to dig into the claims from a really popular online video that argues for people over 60, some of our favorite so-called healthy fruits could be hiding some serious health risks.
I mean, that's a pretty bold question, right? It really makes you stop and think. And the source builds its entire case on this one idea, that the general rules of healthy eating might totally change as we get older, and maybe even start to backfire on us.
And believe me, the claims get even more wild. The source says that some of these fruits can cause a massive, and I mean massive, spike in inflammation. We're talking over 300% in just a week. So what are these supposed killer fruits? Okay, let's get right into the list. So the source basically splits its whole argument into two big lists. We're going to start with the first one, the 4 fruits it claims you should probably avoid, or at least cut way back on once you're past age 60. Kicking off the worst list at number 4 are grapes. Yeah, grapes. The source argues that this seemingly innocent little snack is actually what it calls a blood sugar bomb. Let's break down why. Okay, so there are 3 main arguments against grapes here. First, the sugar. We're talking 16 grams of sugar with next to no fiber to slow it down, which it says causes that big energy spike and then a crash. And the last point is about pesticides. The video mentions reports of dozens of different chemicals found on them.
And to try and back this up, the source points to a 5-year study. Now, the claim it makes from this data is pretty serious, that older folks who ate grapes every day had significantly higher blood sugar and a much higher risk of developing diabetes.
All right, next on the list is pineapple. The source claims this tropical favorite isn't nearly as friendly to an older person's digestive system as you might think.
The big issue here is an enzyme called bromelain. You know, it's often praised for helping with digestion, but the video argues it can be way too harsh on the stomach lining, which naturally gets thinner as we age. Add in the high acidity and the fact that it can mess with medications, and you can see why the source is waving a red flag here.
Moving right along, we come to a breakfast staple. Coming in at number 2 on the worst list, oranges.
The video's argument is that for seniors, the negatives of oranges might actually start to outweigh the positives. It talks about citric acid wearing away at thinning tooth enamel, a study that linked eating oranges daily to higher joint pain scores, and even compounds that can dangerously interfere with liver enzymes. That could potentially turn a normal prescription into an accidental overdose. Yikes.
So if not oranges, then what? Well, the source suggests what it calls a smarter swap, red bell peppers. They apparently pack over 3 times the vitamin C of an orange, but without any of the worries about acid or enamel erosion. And the number 1 worst fruit for seniors according to this source? Honestly, this one is pretty shocking. It's the banana. The video claims that after age 60, bananas can actually sabotage your health. A ripe banana has a really high glycemic index, which means your body processes it basically like pure sugar. It also says they have these things called tannins that can slow down digestion, and that you're just filling up on sugar instead of getting other crucial nutrients you need as you get older. Okay, so that was the list of fruits to watch out for. But the source doesn't just leave you with the bad news. Now we get to pivot to the good list, the 4 fruits it holds up as powerful, even age-defying alternatives. Kicking off the best list is the pomegranate, which the source calls nature's cellular rejuvenator. The key here, according to the source, is this process called mitophagy. Now that sounds super complicated, but the video explains it as a kind of cellular recycling program. It clears out all the tired, old, worn-out cells to make room for new, energetic ones, which it says helps restore your energy and function.
At number 3, we've got a fan favorite, blueberries, which get the cool nickname the memory berry.
And to support this, the video brings out the big guns, the massive nurses' health study. And its finding was pretty incredible. Eating blueberries just twice a week was linked to brains that functioned as if they were 2.5 years younger. I mean, that's a really compelling claim.
All right, next up, at number 2, we have cherries. And the source positions these as a kind of natural alternative to things like ibuprofen or other pain medications. But it's not just about pain relief. The source also points to a huge benefit for sleep. It talks about a clinical trial where adults over 60 who drank tart cherry juice slept, on average, 84 minutes longer every single night. That's almost an hour and a half of extra sleep.
And the number 1 best fruit for seniors according to this video? It's the avocado, which it calls the age-defying superfruit.
So, why the avocado over the banana? Well, according to the source, a big reason is potassium. Avocados deliver way more of this crucial nutrient than bananas do, but they do it with zero sugar and a ton of heart-healthy fats, which is what makes it the so-called smarter choice.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the final takeaway? The source's message isn't really don't eat fruit. It's more about making smarter choices that are actually tailored to what your body needs as it ages.
This table pretty much sums up the entire argument. It's framing the choice as a direct swap. Try to limit the fruits you see on the left and prioritize the ones on the right. The claim is that this one simple change can help protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and bring back some of your energy.
And really, the video leaves us with this one last question to chew on. Based on all these claims, it suggests that maybe what we think of as healthy needs a second look, especially as we get older. It's a fascinating, if pretty controversial, way to think about food.